151st birth anniversary of Mahatma Gandhi today. Sarva Dharma Prarthana held at Raj Ghat. President Ramnath Kovind, Prime Minister Modi and other dignitaries paid their tributes. International Day of Non-Violence being observed by the UN, marking the birth anniversary of Father of the Nation Mahatma Gandhi. The global leaders remember Gandhiji. On Mahatma Gandhi's birth anniversary today, Union Minister Hardeep Singh Puri to address through webinar celebrating 6th anniversary of the Swachh Bharat Mission Urban. Union Minister of Jal Shakti Gajendra Singh Shekhawat will facilitate the top awardees with Swachh Bharat Puraskar. The nation celebrates the birth anniversary of former Prime Minister Lal Bahadur Shastri. President Ramnath Kovind and Prime Minister Modi pay floral tribute at the Raj Ghat. Prime Minister Modi to inaugurate the Vaishvik Bhartiya Vaigyanik, that's the VAIBHAV Summit today via video conferencing. The summit is a global virtual summit of the overseas and resident Indian researchers and academicians. India crosses the landmark milestone. Active cases sustained below the 10 lakh mark for 10 days in an unbroken chain. India maintains its global position as the country with the maximum number of recovered COVID-19 patients. US President Donald Trump and the First Lady Melania Trump to begin their quarantine process after his advisor, Hope Hicks, tested positive for COVID-19. Their test results for COVID are awaited. Hello and good morning. You're watching Doordarshan News and DD India with me, Nancy Kohli. Our top story: a grateful nation is remembering today the father of the nation, Mahatma Gandhi, on his 151st birth anniversary. A series of events are being organized across the country to mark the day. The year-long celebrations to mark the 150th birth anniversary of the father of the nation, Mahatma Gandhi, will also culminate today. Mohandas Karamchand Gandhi or Mahatma Gandhi was born on 2nd of October 1869 in Porbandar, Gujarat. People honor Gandhiji's contributions towards the Indian independence movement and his non-violent way of life. Albert Einstein had once said about Mahatma Gandhi that generations to come will scarcely believe that such a man once walked upon the earth. President Ramnath Kovind and Prime Minister Modi visited Raj Ghat, the Samadhi of Mahatma Gandhi, and offered floral tributes to the father of the nation. A Sarva Dharma prayer meeting was also organized at Raj Ghat.
और योग शक्ति को तत्व से जानता है, वह निश्चल भक्ति योग से युक्त हो जाता है, इसमें कुछ भी संशय। अहम सर्वस्य प्रभवो मत्तः सर्वं प्रवर्तते, और मुझसे ही सब जगत चीज। श्रद्धा और भक्ति से युक्त बुद्धिमान भक्तजन मुझ परमेश्वर को ही निरंतर भजते हैं। ओम पूर्णमदः पूर्णमिदं
मुश्किलों की घड़ियों में मानव जाति की सहायता और एकता के लिए एक बहाई प्रार्थना। हे परमेश्वर, तेरे परम महिमाशाली नाम तुझसे मांगता हूँ कि तू उस कार्य में मेरी सहायता करे, समृद्धि दे खुर्शीद हमारे प्रभु।
Today is also the birth anniversary of the second Prime Minister of India, Lal Bahadur Shastri, the man who gave the ever-inspiring slogan of Jai Jawan, Jai Kisan. Lal Bahadur Shastri played an active role in India's independence movement. President Ramnath Kovind and Prime Minister Modi visited Shastri Ji's Samadhi at Raj Ghat and paid floral tribute to the former Prime Minister.
Second marks the birth anniversary of Lal Bahadur Shastri, the man who gave the ever-inspiring slogan of Jai Jawan, Jai Kisan. Lal Bahadur Shastri was born in Mughal Sarai on October 2nd, 1901. As he grew up, Lal Bahadur Shastri became more and more interested in country's struggle for freedom. He joined the independence movement in 1920s, inspired by Mahatma's call for students to withdraw from government schools and join the non-cooperation movement. Shastri Ji withdrew from Harishchandra High School and actively participated in anti-government demonstration. Shastri Ji graduated from Kashi Vidyapith with a first-class degree in philosophy and ethics in 1925. He was given the title of Shastri or Scholar. In 1930, Shastri Ji participated in the Salt Satyagraha and later the Quit India movement. Following India's independence in 1947, Lal Bahadur Shastri played a leading role in rebuilding the country. He served as the Minister of Railways and Transport in Central Cabinet. In 1961, he became the Home Minister. After Jawaharlal Nehru's death, he became the Prime Minister of India in June 1964. As a Prime Minister, he promoted the White Revolution, a movement to make India self-sufficient in milk production. Lal Bahadur Shastri's slogan of Jai Jawan, Jai Kisan, or Hail the Soldier, Hail the Farmer, captured the nation's imagination in 1965 during the conflict with Pakistan. Shastri Ji died in Tashkent on the day after signing the Tashkent Declaration due to a heart attack. Humble, tolerant, with great inner strength and resoluteness, he was a man of people who understood their language. He was also a man of vision who led the country towards progress. Bureau Report, DD News.
Mahatma Gandhi's birth anniversary is also observed as the International Day of Non-Violence. The non-violence was adopted years ago by Mahatma Gandhi. The concept of non-violence is more needed today than ever before in a world increasingly threatened by nuclear and other highly destructive weapons. Realizing its importance in today's world, the UN General Assembly on 15th of June 2007 voted to establish 2nd of October as the International Day of Non-Violence to disseminate the message of non-violence through education and public awareness. United Nations Secretary General Antonio Guterres, in his message on International Day of Non-Violence, reiterated his call for global ceasefire. The UN head in a tweet said, I quote, "Making this a reality before the end of the year would ease suffering, help lower the risk of famine and create space for negotiations towards peace. Now is the time to intensify our efforts," unquote.
In marking the birthday of Mahatma Gandhi, this International Day highlights the remarkable power of non-violence and peaceful protest. It is also a timely reminder to strive to uphold values that Gandhi lived by: the promotion of dignity, equal protection for all, and communities living together in peace. On this year's observance, we have a special duty stop the fighting to focus on our common enemy, COVID-19. There is only one winner of conflict during a pandemic, the virus itself. As the pandemic took hold, I called for a global ceasefire. Today we need a new push by the international community to make this a reality by the end of this year. Ceasefires would ease immense suffering, help to lower the risk of famine, and create space for negotiations towards peace. Deep mistrust stands in the way. Yet I see reasons for hope. In some places we see a standstill in the violence. A great many member states, religious leaders, civil society networks and others back my call. Now is the time to intensify our efforts. Let us be inspired by the spirit of Gandhi and the enduring principles of the UN Charter.
World leaders have paid rich tributes to Mahatma Gandhi on his 151st birth anniversary today. Listen in.
This October 2nd, as every year, marks the 151st anniversary of the birth of Mahatma Gandhi. In homage to the father and spiritual leader of Indian independence, who applied peaceful resistance, civil disobedience, and the non-use of force as a strategy of struggle managed to unite and lead his people to freedom from the British Empire.
Let me bring their excellencies, President Ramnath Kovind and Prime Minister Narendra Modi and their people, warmest greetings from the government and people of the beautiful Federation of St. Kitts and Nevis, as our thoughts unite in tribute to Mahatma Gandhi, a truly great man, long considered to be the father of his beloved India. A lawyer, politician, and social activist, Mahatma Gandhi was an influential and spiritual leader, as well as a prolific writer.
Today is the International Day of Nonviolence. Today is the birthday of Mahatma Gandhi. Gandhi, who led India and the Indian people against colonization for the sake of independence. India is now a prosperous country. India is proud of its history, of its struggle, of the spirit of resistance that Gandhi has planted in each of you, the Indian people. The Palestinians, they share with you the spirit of resistance. We're fighting for ending injustice, ending colonization, ending occupation, for the sake of peace and justice.
The Ministry of Jal Shakti will today launch 100 Days campaign on the occasion of Gandhi Jayanti under the Jal Jeevan Mission to provide portable piped water supply in schools and the Anganwadi centers. While releasing the Margdarshika for Gram Panchayats and Pani Samitis for implementation of the Jal Jeevan Mission and unveiling of the logo of the mission on 29 September, Prime Minister Modi had spoken about launching of 100 Days campaign on 2nd October to ensure piped safe water in schools and the Anganwadi centers across the country.
जल जीवन मिशन इस 2 अक्टूबर गांधी जयंती से एक और अभियान शुरू करने जा रहा है। 100 दिन का एक विशेष अभियान जिसके तहत देश के हर स्कूल और हर आंगनवाड़ी में नल से जल को सुनिश्चित किया जाएगा। हर घर
जल जीवन मिशन।
The Ministry of Housing and Urban Affairs is celebrating the 6th anniversary of the Swachh Bharat Mission Urban today by organizing a webinar titled Swachhta ke 6 saal Bemisal. The day that also marks the 151st birth anniversary of Mahatma Gandhi will focus on celebrating the achievements of the past 6 years under the mission, along with experience sharing by the states and the cities and partner organizations. Housing and Urban Affairs Minister Hardeep Singh Puri will chair the webinar on the occasion. The minister will release a compendium and a dynamic GIS portal showcasing innovative practices for effective solid waste management practices from across India. The Swachh Bharat Mission, the flagship program of the Government of India, was launched by Prime Minister Modi on 2nd of October 2014 from Raj Ghat, New Delhi, and aimed to achieve the vision of a clean India by 2nd October 2019, the 150th birth anniversary of the father of the nation. Since its launch in 2014, the Swachh Bharat Mission Urban has made significant progress in the areas of both sanitation and the solid waste management. 1,319 cities have been certified the open defecation free, and 489 cities have been certified the open defecation free so far as well. 59,900 toilets across more than 2,900 cities have been made live on the Google Maps. 97% of the wards have complete door-to-door collection under the Swachh Bharat mission. On the occasion of Gandhi Jayanti, Union Minister of Jal Shakti Gajendra Singh Shekhawat will felicitate the top awardees with Swachh Bharat Puraskar. The awards will be handed over virtually due to COVID-19. The Swachh Bharat Awards are given to states, districts, blocks and village panchayats, particularly under drinking water and cleanliness categories. And on the occasion of Gandhi Jayanti, the Tribal Affairs Minister will virtually launch India's largest handicraft and organic products marketplace, Tribes India e-Marketplace, today. Keeping in line with the vision of the Prime Minister making India Atmanirbhar and self-reliant, this path-breaking initiative will showcase the produce and the handicraft of the tribal enterprises from across the country. It will help them market their products directly. On this occasion, the Tribal Affairs Minister will also flag off several other tri-fed initiatives that are aimed to support the tribal community. These include the inauguration of Tribes India's 123rd and 124th outlets in Rishikesh and Kolkata, the inclusion of new tribal product ranges from the states of Jharkhand and Chhattisgarh, and the partnership of Tri-Fed and Tribes India with Amazon in their Seller Flex program. He will also be launching the Pakur honey, which is 100% natural honey gathered by Santhal tribes from Pakur in Jharkhand. And on the occasion of Gandhi Jayanti today, Union Minister for Ayush, Shripad Yeso Nayak, will be inaugurating a naturopathy hospital at the tribal hamlet at Gohe Budruk in Pune, Maharashtra, through video conference. This project will serve as a naturopathy and yoga treatment center for the patients of the tribal community in the area, and also as a training center for the tribal youth, incorporating the skills of naturopathy and yoga to integrate to their health practices. This unit will also study the tribal health practices and develop a repository of the tribal health practices. The Minister for Tribal Development, Maharashtra, K.C. Padavi, will also be joining the event. The health facility is the result of a memorandum of agreement signed between the Director, NIN, and the Project Officer, Integrated Tribal Development Project, Goregaon, Pune, under which handing over of the premise of tribal school for setting up of yoga and naturopathy hospital was envisaged. This project has the special mandate of using naturopathy and yoga treatment for the patients of the tribal community of the area for managing the immune deficiency disorders. This naturopathy and yoga hospital cum training center is expected to serve as the model unit for the rest of the country. The Gohe Budruk Naturopathy Hospital has the capacity to handle outpatients and inpatients with an accommodation capacity of 20 beds, in which they also include separate wards for males and females, well-furnished yoga hall, a diet center, and an area of natural therapies. This unit will also be concentrating mainly on the nutritional needs of the local people through the locally available resources, and also provide self-sustainable healthcare model using natural therapeutics. Besides serving as a healthcare center, it will also provide training to the young tribal men and women to deliver simple naturopathy treatments, which will benefit the entire community on a long run. It may further empower them as self-employed and as well as in getting employment both in the nature care and the yoga centers, as well as in wellness and spa industry, where there is a growing demand for workforce. And moving on now, the third phase of the flagship Back to Village program, that's 10-day festival of development, is all set to begin in the Union Territory of Jammu and Kashmir. Now, the development-oriented action-packed program will witness senior government officials taking review of development scenarios at the grassroots level and addressing the grievances of the public. The unique initiative of its kind in 4,290 panchayats in Jammu and Kashmir is expected to again witness tremendous response from the public like the earlier phases. The third phase of the program is a festival of development and democracy among the masses, and to ensure the redressal of grievances, the government of Jammu and Kashmir has earmarked for 50 crore rupees for undertaking developmental works. Now, to improve the efficiency of the ambitious program in phase 3 of Back to Village, it has been made mandatory to carry out at least 2 developmental works in every panchayat. Back to Village phase 3 is preceded by a 21-day Jan Abhiyan to ensure that the voices of the people are heard and the grievances addressed on the spot. Prime Minister Modi will inaugurate the Vaishvik Bhartiya Vaigyanik, that's VAIBHAV Summit today via video conferencing. The VAIBHAV Summit is a global virtual summit of the overseas and the resident Indian researchers and academicians, and is being organized from 2nd of October to 31st of October this year. The aim of the summit is to bring Indian origin luminaries in academic institutes and research and development organizations across the world and resident counterparts on a single platform to debate upon collaboration mechanisms to strengthen academic and the SNT base in India for global development. The inauguration will be followed by online deliberation sessions. The initiative involves multiple levels of interactions among overseas experts and Indian counterparts over a month-long series of webinars and video conferences. More than 3,000 overseas Indian origin academicians and scientists from 55 countries and more than 10,000 resident academicians and scientists are taking part in the summit, which is going to be running through the month of October. Over 1,500 panelists from 40 countries, 200 leading Indian R&D and academic institutions will virtually deliberate in 18 different areas and 80 topics in more than 200 deliberation sessions. The concluding session is planned on 31st of October on the occasion of Sardar Patel Jayanti. Union Minister for Women and Child Development Smriti Irani addressed the 25th anniversary of the 4th World Conference on Women. Speaking on the occasion, the minister said that India recognizes the centrality of women empowerment in developmental agenda. The minister hailed the women-centric development heralded under the leadership of Prime Minister Modi. The minister added that in India, the focus is now on inclusive development. She said that with the increasing participation of women in local governance, India now could provide gender-sensitive public policies at the community level.
Mr. President, I take this opportunity to congratulate you on your election as the President of the General Assembly for its 75th session and to convey our appreciation for convening this high-level meeting. Women numerically constitute half of humanity, but their influence transfuses all dimensions of society, polity and economy. In India, we recognize the centrality of gender equality and women's empowerment in all aspects of our developmental agenda. We are now focused on inclusive growth and deep reforms that together are bringing about transformational changes. Heralding these changes under the leadership of our visionary Prime Minister, Shri Narendra Modi, we have moved from a paradigm of women's development to women-led development. Reservation of seats for women in local government has ensured that more than 1.3 million elected women representatives today provide leadership in formulating and implementing gender-sensitive public policies at the community level. More than 200 million Indian women have been brought into the formal banking system through the government's Financial Inclusion Initiative. Innovative use of digital technologies has provided equal opportunity for women to access insurance, loans and social assistance. Celebrating the girl child in India and enabling her education. is a multi-sectoral package of interventions and awareness campaigns that challenge gender stereotypes and realize the girl's right to education. India today is attaching the highest priority to ensuring gender parity in all spheres of life and elimination of all forms of gender-based discrimination. Several of our legislation, such as those pertaining to sexual harassment of women at workplace, protection of women from domestic violence, protection of children from sexual offences, and our criminal laws amendments further ensuring protection of women, have been strong enablers of women empowerment over the past 6 years of our government. Mr. President, the Government of India took a series of measures for ensuring safety, security and well-being of women during the COVID pandemic. These included one-stop crisis centers which provide medical, psychological, legal, police and shelter facilities to women under a common roof. Additionally, during the pandemic, all efforts have been made to ensure continuity of care for women, especially pregnant and lactating women and women in vulnerable situations. The National Nutrition Mission, launched to improve nutritional status of children, women, adolescent girls, seeks to make India malnutrition free by the year 2022. In conclusion, I reiterate India's commitment to the full and effective implementation of the Beijing Declaration and Platform for Action. What we achieved 25 years ago at the 4th World Conference on Women still remains our guiding light and source of inspiration. India remains committed to building a just and equal post-COVID world for us and our daughters. Jai Hind.
And with that, it's a wrap on this edition of the news. Thanks for being with us.